Hello, hello. Are we around? Are we back? We sure are back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Slurpathon 2023. We are here to speedrun, raise donations in support of the Alberta Children's Hospital with our many speedy runs and our wonderful support from all our friends. We have Junkyard Dave here for Battle Kid, Fortress of Peril. Doing hard mode for you today.
It'll be interesting. Hopefully it'll go well.
You still haven't answered my question about why the trees are popsicles.
Sabat Games likes fudgicles. That's all I can say. He's... we don't know if that's actually true, but we'll just say it's true.
Totes. Alright, well, we're all ready for you to go. So...
Cool. I will preface the run really quickly and just say this is a hard run, so the only thing that I want to explain before time is we have 50 lives. So we're going to try to do this. If you die 51 times, which shouldn't happen, but if it does, we get sent back to the title screen and it's game over. And what makes this super difficult is this game is really difficult in general. It's all one-hit KO. But what makes this really hard is the instant screen transitions like this. You don't have time to think, so you have to kind of like run through every room and just know what's coming ahead. So that's that. That's probably the only thing that I can't really explain. Well, kind of. I guess I could explain it, but still. So if we're good, we can start. And I will say 3, 2, 1, go. Actually, wait, sorry, that's not true. We actually start the timer after this guy starts moving. So, false start. Okay, now go. So, this Battle Kid, as I said, it's really tricky, as I said. Also, there's 50 lives. I don't know how to commentate this game, I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. We can play the game, but we have blood in our brain that we can either play the game or talk. I don't think we can do both of these things at the same time. But...
Well, I can talk on behalf of you. I don't know why you're hitting these eyes. I don't know why this guy is so sad that he only has 50 lives. Like, clearly his face is he's very frustrated and unhappy. And why is he going to this Fortress of Peril?
That's a good question. So that was a checkpoint, and in the game, you get reverted back to a checkpoint if you die, so we don't want to die, because there's not really a good spot to die in this game, in the sense you're not going to lose like a minute at a time. So getting underestimate is kind of pretty tricky in that regard. And there's a couple of really difficult strats. Like, the first level isn't too bad in terms of the stuff that you have to go through, but there's a couple of really difficult strats. And one of them actually is coming up here. One of the hardest ones in the game, actually. Okay, we're good.
You did it.
Yes.
Because you did it, you get a donation.
Thank you.
So,
wait, actually,
we do have a donation from Sean. And Sean says, this donation is for my brother, Junkyard Dave. Please remember the fish in that one room. If you don't and die on it, you have no excuses after this donation. If David remembers the fish, donation goes to his choice. Otherwise, the donation reader gets to pick what it goes to. Well, you know what I'm gonna go for. I want to save puppies.
There you go.
But in this case, if I'll do a quick recap of our current donations right now. We've got our Hrot run by wonderful other speedrunners. Right now, Saving the Frames is winning by $30 for deciding the puppy's fate. If you don't want to see puppies cooked on stream, then please donate to Save the Puppers. We also have Lena's Inception for our bid war, so you could choose your graphic style. You want old school 8-bit, or do you want slightly, maybe more modern, 32-bit graphic style? Choose your aesthetic, donate, and again, all of these proceeds go towards the Alberta Children's Hospital. So we are supporting our future generation and our kiddos by speedrunning Dave, why? Why are there snails attacking you? I clearly missed something. What is going on?
Yeah, the snails have guns in this game, so they're kind of dangerous. So that room actually that it just kind of saved in has one of the hardest strats in the game. We chickened out a little bit. That I don't know. Like if you die at that point and okay, so 1 second here actually. But if you die at that point, you lose minutes, so it's painful.
Cool.
And at this point too, we're skipping some checkpoints. It's like I could have saved in that other room. So the next checkpoint is coming up here. And the thing about this game is the checkpoints are really earned. Like you have to go through like 20 or 30 screens at a time. Unfair is 1 life. That's why it's named like that. So if you die, you just get sent back to the title. So endgame, I would like to be able to do that at some point. And there you go. See.
I was gonna literally ask about why they just decide to just call it unfair instead of like, you know, your usual, ooh, like nightmare or whatever. It's just like, it's just unfair.
Yes. The cool thing about this game though is like there's no RNG. Well, sorry, I should say there is RNG. But like all the execution and stuff, it falls on you. So if you die, it's generally your fault and you're a sucker and it's like all on you. So it's not one of those games where there's like eaten inputs or anything like that.
Oof. That's probably why, like, that guy's face is like that. It's like, it's all you. You're controlling me, clearly.
Yes.
It's all on you if I die. Oh, Max says the battle kit looks like a tiny Chris Redfield. Shoddy, David wasn't joking. He can't commentate and play this game, so he's doing a great job so far. And yes, you're doing a great job.
Honestly, like, this game, we blind raced it originally, my girlfriend and I, and it took us almost 15 hours to beat the first time, so... 15 hours? Oh, okay, did you at least, like, sleep? Or was this, like, a continuous 15 no,
hours?
It was spread between multiple streams. But,
That's insane. For the first stage?
Oh no, not the first stage, but, like, the entire game.
Oh, the entire game, okay.
Yeah, we I think ended up dying close to like 1,500 times, so it was a lot. So if you ever go in and out of rooms like that, you can kind of reset the room RNG. So the rooms are fixed for the most part, like there's no RNG that you have to contend with. So if you ever see me kind of like run in and out, that's kind of what's happening there, is I missed a cycle or something that happened in that regard. So my best so far is not taking a checkpoint. Wait, this room sucks. For probably about 17 minutes. And not dying in about 17 minutes too. So it's about halfway through the game. But we already died once. Oh, no.
Yeah. It's okay, it's a marathon. You don't have to worry about it.
There's actually a really annoying, like, sunbeam. I didn't even see that. That's on the CRT.
Shai's like, why is that a spike elephant? Also, my question was, I just noticed that if you're by the fans, they literally make you go faster.
Correct, yeah, you get pushed really quickly ahead. So I have to kind of work around this sunbeam. I didn't even see it. Like, the sunbeam blocked off that row of spikes. So I'll have to figure out how to do that. So there's a room coming up that actually is really cruel. So this one... Okay. Okay. That's kind of a scary jump no matter how you do that room. But it's right before the checkpoint. So we have the owl boss. The owl boss is actually pretty free. It's one of these weird situations in video games where like the second boss is easier than the first boss. The first boss had multiple patterns you kind of have to deal with, and he's a little bit of a jerk. The owl boss does have RNG. He gave me a bad pattern twice here. He can shoot at your feet, which is the only thing that can kill you. Otherwise, he has basically like a safe area, and this is the only boss that has a safe area. So you can just kind of hang out in that corner and shoot him. But if he gives you the good RNG, he can't even shoot you in that corner, so...
Dang. Good. That you made it look so easy. People are asking about if this game has any hippo horses, or
Yeah.
horse hippos, or perhaps house hippos.
Yeah, that's very Canadian. If you're Canadian, you know what a house hippo is. If you're not, you're
Oh
like...
yeah, don't believe all you see on social media, kids. Don't you put it in your mouth. That's also the thing of house hippos.
Oh, that was a beautiful jump. But yeah, Birdman, we appreciate you. I drew a horrible, absolutely horrible. I can actually show it off after if you want, but a horrible horse yesterday that looked like a hippo by accident.
I mean, we apparently saw a spike elephant, so it's like we're just learning all of the new species inside this fortress. When did this game come out?
So this came out, I think, in 2010. It was a homebrew on the NES, and it made rounds originally on the internet because it's super difficult. It is really not easy at all. But there's quite a few, I guess, you know, like popular YouTube people at the time that went through it and really struggled.
Yeah, Cybertails in the chat was saying the first boss made Arn from Game Grumps just like absolutely rage quit.
Correct, yeah. That's probably one of the... Whoa, the sunbeam blocked me again.
Are those owls or are those goblins?
I am not sure what these guys are. We can call them goblins or dragons or something. We can ask Savak for the knowledge after.
Shawnee, what are they? Tell me, Shawnee. What are these things on screen? They actually could be like green kobolds too.
Maybe they are actually a kobold.
Apparently they are owl gobs. You heard it from Shawnee. And Asper says owlins. They could be both.
So, I need to remember... We don't go down there yet. We have to come back and do that after we're done. So, we're okay. Okay, so we're entering probably my least favorite area in the entire game. There's 2 water sections in this game that I think even in 2010 it was true. Water sections are just not fun. But they control really decently. In this game, it's just, there's a lot of... Actually, in my opinion, some of the hardest things in this game are in this water section. So I'll try for one of the strats once, and if we die there, I won't death loop or anything, we'll just move on. But one of the hardest strats, I think, period, is actually back-to-back. There's like 4, almost. Thank you.
Peace.
And we're back.
Even the oysters want to eat you.
Yes.
I want seafood.
For you. So... This is the interesting thing about this, as I said, in the marathon sense. Like, you get kicked back quite a few screens between checkpoints. Whoa. Spikes, please.
In your inventory, there's a little buff thing. Or looks like a person with an arrow.
Correct. So you get a higher jump in this game. So you can jump slightly higher with that particular power-up. And then there's other power-ups that you get along the way, basically like either before or after most bosses. And they either increase your mobility or give you like a double jump and stuff like that. So that was the first water section. Pretty simple stuff for the most part. It's the continuation of that screen that's actually really difficult.
Excuse me, did you just say the first water section? There's more than one?
Oh yeah, no. There's
no wonder
like
people hate this game.
Yeah, there's a Metroidvania... Oh shit. There's a Metroidvania element where you go back to that water section like 3 or 4 times. It's actually kind of silly how it's like the crossroads for this game. Okay, so... These dudes here, kobolds, whatever you want to call them, they have a tremendous amount of health. They actually might have the most health in the entire game, and they're just literally there to kind of like mash and make your life difficult. So up here, we have to enter this room for like a split second and then we leave. That activates a portal that we can use later on to like quick warp. And if you don't do that, you essentially soft lock the route and you have to like run back minutes to get back to the same spot. This little area has probably one of the hardest strats that I won't even try in the next room. It's ridiculous what they do in the record here, but we'll try for all the other stuff. And coming up is the little blinky rooms that I was talking about earlier. And that's rooms that I'll need awkward silence for, because there's all kinds of audio cues that I need to pay attention to.
Okay.
So, these little beeps are... yeah, so you can see. Oh no, I don't trust that one. Oh, see, it didn't matter anyway. But yeah, like talking in that room is almost impossible. You just have to pay attention. So lesson learned. I'll keep my mouth shut there.
Oh.
But speaking of reoccurring rooms, that happens twice also in the run. Actually 3 times where those rooms come back. And it's very, very, very silly. But
That is insane.
it's funny too because the record skips some of them.
That's good though.
And there's a couple skips that I can do, but yeah, one sec. We learned.
We just learned.
Yeah, the worst part about these rooms is if you die, you get sent back a really far distance, so...
You did it. Soon.
There's more.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Third room.
Ooh. I almost got stuck in the wall. That wasn't good. Okay, that part's over for now, so...
Woof! You did it! I was... like, oh my gosh, like you had... Not only do you have to like not get hit by spikes and not die, you also need to remember where to stand. That is disgusting, and for 3 rooms. I'm gonna call these like mage things like mage ice climbers, because that's what I was immediately reminded of when I saw them. But that was awesome getting through those rooms. Good job!
This little section is actually quite difficult too. I guess like that's the whole game though, it's not really just that little section. But yeah, there's like a lot of kind of like awkward falling here where you have to like jump, not jump in front of the enemies, but like jump in front of shots, or just jump like this in front so you avoid the damage. That would have killed me. We got stuck on that block because that weird lightning bolt tracks like basically your y-axis, and it comes down and it shoots you, so it doesn't matter where you're on the screen. You have to like move in very specific ways to avoid that. And we have more, so 1 second.
They're green now.
Yeah, they're tricky.
Yeah. Like, not only do you have... It slows your pace, too.
It does. Okay, collective sigh, that's over.
No, holy crap! I was like, I'm just freaking out in chat because I'm like, I don't want to say anything because like I don't want you to die and have to do this all over again. Oh, I was like, okay, it's 3 rooms, and then you went into the 4th room. I was just like, what is this?
I don't know. It just doesn't end on that one section, and I agree. Like, it slows the pace. So. But it progressively gets faster, so it really messes with whatever rhythm that you start to kind of develop. So this boss name is Cleo, and she has basically 6 different patterns, and the only thing that's RNG, well actually everything, sorry, is RNG about her. I can't explain and talk about this one. But everything about her is RNG, and the only thing that's true about her is she can't use the same color pattern back in the background twice. So she'll never do like green or something like that. So she'll always cycle to a new one, so she won't do like red here, for example. But other than that, all her attacks are very fast. I would argue and say that she's probably one of the harder bosses, actually, when you're doing this casually. Because there's just not really a good way to... Like, you learn through death on this boss, I think, more than any other boss. Like, all her patterns are basically almost instant, and she just jumps around, and it's kind of crazy. So we're gonna go back and get the checkpoint. Oddly enough, in this game, there's not, like, an autosave feature, so if you die on the boss, you actually have to redo the boss if you don't get the checkpoint.
So brutal.
Yes.
Gosh.
And it's not. Yeah, it's the 5th one, Nico. But the thing about this too is you have like you really have to work for the checkpoints. And sorry, this is the one that I have to remember. Is you go here and you go out, because that also activates another warp. And then we're going down here again. We'll take the checkpoint here. Because entering this section is the water section again, but this is kind of like the hard water portion, not like before where it was kind of free. So we're gonna do some pretty tricky stuff. So we entered, this is the floating power-up that we got from the previous boss. It allows us to float if we hold up. And entering here, we have probably, as I said, what's gonna be the harder water portion. We have to go to the right once we pass the checkpoint here. And there is like probably 4 strats in this little area that I had learned originally. We'll try one on this room here. We'll see if we can get it. We cannot. We're not gonna death loop there. We'll kill it. But yeah, there's like 4 particular strats in this like water area where I improved, I guess, like the record at the time. And some of the strats, like, I actually don't know how to do the rooms otherwise, so we'll have to do 2 of them in a row, but they're really scary in terms of, like, some of the things that you need to go for in the window frames you have, and this guy's gonna shoot me if I'm not careful. So...
Everyone's just here to kill you.
Yeah, this kid has a bad life. I don't know why everyone is so hostile against him, but they are. So, coming up here is a very awkward room. We have these 3 guys, and you have to time these shots. So it's worth noting that you have an oxygen timer, if that wasn't bad enough. So that 46 is like ticking at the top. If you don't, you can do this part in theory without coming up for oxygen. But if your oxygen runs out at any point in time, then you just die, so that's another thing. So we don't have infinite oxygen yet, but there is actually an infinite oxygen power-up. And apparently we can't jump on that. We can't jump on that ledge. Hardest ledge in the game. So these 2 rooms back to back are very difficult now. Okay. Alright, so that's 1. Okay, so those are the 2 record improvement strats, but one of them was worked, but we didn't die anyway. Oh! Clam. Okay.
Doing great.
So we'll wait that cycle. I felt a little bit uncomfortable floating down there, but I think I would probably die. Okay. So we're entering, I think it's called like Frog Palace is the canon name, I'm not sure. It's, oh, the frog! It's because there's frogs. These frogs are like the most jerk enemy in the entire game. They have a very simple pattern, but they're in such precarious places where you have to shoot them as they appear on screen like that, otherwise they will kill you. And this whole area is probably one of the harder ones in the game too. One sec.
It's literal Frogger.
Yes.
But like hell, Frogtress of Peril.
Very accurate, actually. So we have, yeah, just a sequence of rooms that are really difficult. Again, that's the story of this entire game.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I'm gonna jinx myself, I'm sure, and die. But this is probably the section I am most consistent at, which is weird because it's the section that I did not practice at all. Like, when I learned this game, we definitely put our focus in the later levels, and for whatever reason, usually, when we run this, it's deathless in this whole section. That strat! Oh, we jinxed everything, look at that. I was gonna say that strat is something that the record doesn't do, which is incredibly terrifying too, but there you go. We talked and then we ruined everything.
If you do need me to talk more, it's totally fine. If anything, I'm just gonna mirror everything that's gonna happen in chat. But you know, like Slurpy Ninja's been on a freaking roll with puns, but it's like, you know, sorry Dave, feels Toad Man. And Nasper's saying, that's yeah, hope there isn't an underwater ice section. I wouldn't be surprised if there was, but. And I'll do the obligatory reminder to our viewers. We are speedrunning for charity. We are going to raise money. We are currently raising money to go and first, you know, go towards their incentives. Obviously, we need to save the puppies because clearly a person by the name of Zello has decided that they wanted to see Omax cook puppies on stream, and we don't want to see that, right, people? We want to save the puppies. Please donate towards the Frot Run, whether or not you are the antagonist like Zello or the protagonist like myself, deciding the puppy's fate. You also have Lena's Inception. Show your aesthetic. Vote for your aesthetic, your graphic style. You can choose between 8-bit or 32-bit. Hurry up and donate. Save the puppies.
Oh. That honestly sounds like the best incentive that I've ever heard before.
Which one? Saving the puppies?
Will remain ambiguous. I don't know if it's cooking or saving. we'll be on both of those fences. So
clearly, if you want to cook puppies on stream, me will go after you with big club. So
we can talk about one thing that is very common in this game, which is death looping. Hooray! And if you're not careful, at least in the speedrun, which is why speedrun is extremely kind of volatile like that, it is really easy to death loop. And this jump that keeps coming up here is one of the harder strats in the entire game. This room coming up here. So there, okay, we did the backup thing where we just let those two little robots pass us. But jumping across in one way and then not having them kind of like tag your feet afterwards is ideal, but it's probably one of the harder things to do. Okay, the guy didn't want to activate apparently. Thank you.
Hog dogs are banned, Shawnee? Sure, hog dogs are banned. Hot dogs, I think, are still okay. Oh, there's Omax saying, you've got a bit battle kid in me.
There is kind of an unofficial Battle Kid 3, Spiriax, which at one point had the record. Made like an entire fan game that's pretty crazy. And I don't know if I would call it like Battle Kid 3, but it's like its own thing for sure. Which I've always wanted to try out actually. so we have this boss. The whole reason that we had to go get that oxygen thing... actually, sorry, they give you infinite oxygen here for this boss. So we don't actually have infinite oxygen yet. But yeah, this boss is underwater. Everybody likes fighting giant snakes underwater. That's a good mechanic. But he's actually one of the easier bosses, even though he looks maybe a little bit weird. Because he's one of the bosses that's completely scripted. I think he's the only boss in the entire game that he just runs through the same kind of attack pattern each time. So if you can dodge the first cycle, you can in theory dodge like the 20th cycle. But all the other bosses are fairly RNG heavy, like even down to the frame actually. Like their patterns change by frame. So we're not gonna walk into that spike pit. That was almost a disaster. We're gonna walk to the
Honey, like he looks fine, David. Jeez. I mean, I was just like, why is it a snake and not like a huge frog because of all these frogs?
That's a very good question. Oh wait, that snail is extremely dangerous. Okay.
Only in this game, guys, will you ever hear this snail's extremely dangerous.
Probably
or perhaps
very
SpongeBob.
true, actually. Okay, but apparently that block is impossible. So there's a 2-frame jump that you can skip that frog. We're not going to skip that frog. That's after the end.
Yeah, you just kill him instead. Easy.
Exactly. We just shoot him.
Even
Okay, so we have to teleport here to 2, and then we're coming out here. We have to float down, and this is where I always have to remember. Because there's a bit of a Metroidvania thing here where they force you back to this little water section, but to go to a different part. And if we were like incredibly good at this game and extremely good at commentary and being able to talk through everything, this would be like the ideal spot for hosts to do any kind of donation or plug or anything, because once we get there, it's a really weird portion. It's basically like an underwater like hamster maze. You're like boxed into like these 1x1 things, and it's very free. Like you literally see right here, there's a couple of spikes at the very beginning, but otherwise you're just running through this section for like 2 minutes. So this is a great time if you want to talk about anything, if you want to mention anything, because there's not going to be much going on here.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about how Dave is a cool runner and how they're doing such a great job trying to commentate while doing this hellscape of the game, and how everyone's talking about how there's lots of actually refuting my thing about angry slugs and terrible slugs in games. You know, there's Metal Slug 3, snail trails are apparently toxic, everything in Australia is toxic.
Yeah, everything.
I'm so sorry, Nico. I am such a liar. But I'm not lying about how Dave is an awesome person.
I think that's what he's calling your lies out about, huh?
Oh.
Nico is a resident non-troublemaker in my chat, so...
Given all the spikes in this game, why aren't the bosses spikes? You know, you don't question that. You know, maybe the devs are like looking at this right now, they're like, oh, you know, that wasn't a bad idea. Maybe we'll just make another game and just have everything be spikes.
Actually, one thing we can point out too is the dev actually streams on Twitch, which is kind of cool. So his name is SIVAK and then games, like all one word. And he's a really friendly guy, and I did actually want to ask him if he wanted to do commentary, but he lives in Japan. So kind of getting a hold of him sometimes, as I live in Canada, is a little bit tricky with the hour difference.
Shawnee wants chicken noises. Okay.
Yeah, that's very much a meme on my channel too. Am I gonna die? Okay, we're not gonna die. That was close.
So chickens come after you. What is your favorite chicken dish? Sorry. I saw chicken noises and suddenly my brain decided to think about food as per usual.
I think all chicken is good. Like, it doesn't really matter what is there.
But that's such a cop-out answer.
You know what? We're going in the completely wrong direction again. We don't need to be here. So we need to go... Sorry, we have to teleport to 4 now.
I agree. Homemade chicken parm is great.
Where am I? We got disorientated.
Uh-oh. Maybe it was a bad idea to get me to start talking. Sorry guys, we're going over. We're gonna be stuck in the Fortress of Peril forever.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go through this section again. No, okay, so the whole point, okay, I know where I am. But this is dumb, because this is the whole reason that you get this checkpoint is to avoid this whole section. And we're going through the whole section anyway, so after we come up here, we're supposed to come back over here and teleport. So... yeah, extremely lost percent. Oh no, wait, this is true. This is where we're supposed to be. Sorry, because we didn't kill... We did kill Cleo! What am I doing, man? Okay, so we need to go back over here.
This entire, like, last 30 seconds is me trying to figure out where I'm walking. Or, you know, I go into the kitchen, it's like, oh, what was I doing?
Yeah, we took literally a detour that was 100% unnecessary. We're supposed to go this way through the water. We didn't go... We went up last time. So we're supposed to go over here. We killed these clams, and then we're back where we're supposed to be. But yeah, we literally took like a minute detour for absolutely no reason there. So now we're on the right track. We have to come down here, and then there's yet more water. So this is kind of the scary part, I would say, of the run to me. This is what my brother was talking about with that one fish. This section is... I don't know if it's a combination of the water, but honestly, like, this section is difficult. Like, I have a hard time with a lot of the things in this, because you're timing, like, one shot at a time. Like, you can kind of see here, you have to, like, shoot this fish, and if you don't, well, then whatever. But there's a lot of, like, very precise shots that if you don't make, it makes the rooms very uncomfortable. And... coming up here is one of the harder strats too, so we'll respect that weird floating eyeball.
Those fish are like nightmare, like dream fuel.
They are, yes. I don't think anybody likes the one-eyed fish. Oh! I don't know how we live there. So, entering, this upcoming... Okay, there you go. The clown got me. That's actually a fairly tight jump too, where you don't want to take the shot there. So you have to jump through these guys, you have to shoot that one guy as it comes out, dodge that. But coming up here is actually probably one of the hardest strats, and I don't like this room. It's this next room right here. You have to float beside that guy really quickly, and then not die, obviously. So,
oh my god, angry starfish? Jeez.
Angry everything. All the animals in this game are angry. They just really dislike this kid. Okay, so we're into checkpoint. That's the first one. And then we have another section, more underwater, that again has some pretty tricky platforming. You have to kill that guy, otherwise you'll get shot. That's a pretty tricky jump to make. Of course, that one isn't, but of course, that's where we fail. You have to float down here, extremely precise in that third column, otherwise those two fish will kill you. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fish look extra angry. Well, I'm gonna say that, like, the angry Patrick starfish are probably more angry than these fish.
Okay, so entering this boss is a little bit weird. It's not that hard, but at the same time, there is light RNG elements in terms of like the sequence of how these things shoot. So ideally, okay, that was okay. I was gonna say ideally you want to kill the right side first like that, but like let's say from left to right, if you can count them like 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't always shoot 1, 2, 3, 4. Like sometimes they'll shoot like 4, 3, 2, 1 or whatever. So it's kind of annoying dealing with them. And after we kill this boss, which actually went better than it normally does, we have access to this room, and this gives us a double jump, which allows us to do a lot of different things, but mainly double jump. It's in the name. So the double jump makes you double jump. Who would have thought? So make sure we get this save point, because otherwise if we die, we have to go fight that first boss again, which is terrible. So coming up here. Ooh, okay, that was interesting.
I also had a question.
Sure.
Does this game not come with a map?
It does actually, but you skip it. It's in the very first like 2 rooms, and yeah, you actually skip it because going down for like 1 extra screen in the run wastes that 1 extra frame or whatever. So yeah, there's actually X. You see in the top right corner is like question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
There's like actual X and Y coordinates that once you unlock the map, you can see where you are in proximity to like whatever room that you're in. But it literally gets skipped at the very beginning of the game.
Dang.
Okay. I do not like the clams. They are not a great enemy.
But are they delicious?
I don't know. I've never eaten a clam, and I probably won't.
What?
They kind of scare me. I'm not a huge seafood person, so.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair.
I eat everything else though.
Shoddy. This game operates on Apple Maps, which is what David got so lost before.
Probably true. Okay, speaking of lost, there is a multiple path thing coming up here, so we'll actively think about it and not get lost. So coming up from the water, we need to go left, not right. So there we go. See? Not lost. We're free.
You did it. You remembered.
We did. We did the brain thing. So we're entering here. This honestly is like probably one of the more fun sections in my opinion. We have these new enemies that are kind of annoying. They take 3 shots to kill, and they explode obviously once you kill them, but they're placed in the worst positions you can obviously imagine, because that's how this game operates. I did this terribly. You can do this in 1 cycle. Apparently we decided to do that in 3. But doing this section is, I think, one of the more satisfying spots in the game. It's really nice, I think. I don't know, like, level design is nice in this one. This wall sucks for obvious reasons. Okay, there we go. We didn't get...
I mean, I just like the room because it's purple, and I'm totally biased on purple.
There you go. I like how that was the death. We had to die there.
Spiky. Claire didn't have the right feet.
Yeah, we just literally walked off into the spikes. So here I have to remember... Okay. So... Alright. So I was gonna say that was kind of a weird little sequence there too, because there's the double jump mechanic. Obviously, like if you double jump, after the second jump you start floating down, like you lose kind of like any momentum and gravity that you have. So on some of these sections where, some of these sections where obviously you're floating down like that, you actually only have like 1 chance to do that. Otherwise you'll just slowly descend to your death.
Oof.
So same with here, gotta make sure that we wiggle slightly. There's an evil wall there that will spawn if you take too long. And we have one of the more frustrating bosses, I would say casually here. She has multiple different patterns. She gives you good RNG or bad RNG if she's on the ground. This is the good RNG when these things kind of like rain down at you and they don't track you. We still have good RNG actually. She's being kind of friendly. So she has different patterns, and what makes her a little bit complicated is if she's on the left side or the right side, she mirrors her attacks. So this is the bad RNG where it kind of tracks you. It's a lot harder to get in shots that way. But if she's on the left side, those spikes come in from the right. If she's on the right side, it comes in from the left. So, and she's also got, okay, that was actually a pretty decent boss, considering the RNG that she gave us. But,
Very nice.
yeah, usually, like, you can die on her pretty quickly, but she's a weird kind of, like, mirror of herself, so. She's got a bunch of different weird patterns. So we're entering the final area, which I also have to think about slightly as I exit the spot. Because once we leave, we have a really awful jump actually coming up here. But we have to go to the right side this time. And then we have to go up. And this jump, I would have died. Okay. That jump is a little bit scary. If you die, obviously just go back to the checkpoint. So now we're not going to get lost. We're going to teleport in the right direction. We go to number 4, and basically we have all these keys that we have been going around from the bosses, and we collected them all, and they unlock access to this last room. So you can actually die on these things that are despawning. One time I walked into them, and even they kill you, whatever these things are supposed to be. So it's like nothing in this game is safe. So the best part about this casually is if you've never actually seen this game, actually I'll wait a couple of seconds because it's a few screens away, but coming up is probably one of like the roughest parts, I would say, casually. And in the speedrun it's no different because it forces some really weird kind of mechanics, and I'll explain those when I get there, but that's maybe like less than a minute away or so. But this room is really difficult, and then same with this following room. It's extremely kind of precise how you do that one. If you take too long, you just die. So ironically, okay, so that's the first checkpoint. And then let's see if we can one-shot all this other stuff.
I do enjoy that, like, pretty much for most of this run, you're like, oh, this is a hard room. It's like every room is a hard room.
Yes. It is very true. So these spikes return and they get faster. This is a death trap here. You have to wait and then float down and then jump, otherwise you cannot make that one. So like normally you just think, oh yeah, I'll float down there, but they respawn fast enough and they just kill you. So it's literally almost
That is
like
rude.
This is hard. There's 2 rooms after this that are very easy to die in as well. So this, not as much, but this room here, if you don't do it this way, they can just kind of track you. And then this room is oddly not free. Like you think you just have to go into this hole. If you accidentally bump, like those things almost have a 100% chance of killing you. So we actually one-shot that whole section because there's a checkpoint here. And casually coming up, this is where I would say a lot. I don't know how people felt. Like we felt really deflated and motivated when we were playing this game, because as you exit like this last section, the game actually takes away all the power-ups that you've accumulated throughout the entire game, and then you have to do this last kind of like trial area, oops, without any power-ups. So that's coming up pretty quickly as well. Weirdly, floating down here and jumping across that little gap on that spike guy is terrifying. Same with these jumps here. There is a way safer way to do that, but... So yeah, coming up here, sorry, I meant to say there's flashing lights, so careful. And there's also flashing lights at the end of the boss here. But coming up, they just took our items away, so you're stuck in this little section. And this is where the speedrun, I think, separates itself from kind of like going through stuff casually. Is this room here is kind of like a gauntlet of sorts. We're skipping the energy, or the oxygen rather, so we're not going to go back and get the infinite oxygen power up. But to skip the oxygen, we have to do these horrible kind of like skips here. So it's in the next screen coming up here, and we have to do it twice. So these, I think, are 2 frames each, jumping across here, and it's horrible. So that is the scariest part of the entire run, I think, to me, and the fun part about it is you get to do it coming back again, just backwards, because obviously you have to get back out of here. But that is like terrifying. I don't like those jumps at all. They're just not fun.
This is literally that meme of, you know, it's like a bunch of people already like kicking it down, that like one person just like sipping the wine and they just come and start like beating on you too.
Yes.
Literally what's happening right now to you.
You ever see like, wait one sec, these blocks require audio. Okay. It's very similar to the Hamburglar and Homer beating him up and never stopping. It's like, okay. Thank you, fish, for blocking. So we have just enough time that we're going to be able to come back up here, and we successfully skipped going to get the oxygen. So that's one of 3 trials. It's kind of here.
Very nice. 6 seconds.
Yeah, you just have enough time. If you wait on that section, like those little Yoku blocks, you don't have enough time anymore and you will die. So we're gonna skip this. There's an incredibly hard strat that you can do to spawn both of those like robot things, but we're just gonna give that strat up to the wall as well. Or the wall. Sure, the wall. The evil wall from before. I don't know what
The evil wall.
Okay, so I always confuse these 2 rooms. I always think that fan room is like one room before. So that was the second trial, provided we don't die on this jump. And the third one, we regain the feather. So after that, we have 2 final bosses, and that's it. I don't know why I jumped like that. That would have been death. I always think that I have the feather here, but I do not. This is literally the spot that you come back to get the feather. So, oh, okay, you're gonna kill me. So I always think that I can float, but I can't float yet. And whoa, whoa! You're supposed to bump that ledge just as you fall down.
Hey, please.
Okay, so now we have the feather. Now we can float, which allows us to do floating things. Ironically, it doesn't make most of these rooms easier. We're just gonna play it safe and kill that guy, apparently. This is a super awkward room when you're coming back through it. And one sec here. This is kind of uncomfortable, and this is also uncomfortable. Okay, we're good. So we're entering...
You should just run this game and just sit on a spiky chair at this
Honestly,
point.
yes, at this point. So we have the second final boss. This guy, you basically don't want him to freeze you. He will... Okay, of course he's just gonna keep freezing us. So he has, like, I think like 4 or 5 different patterns. And all of them avoid... Or sorry, all of them require you to avoid... Okay, you're being a jerk. Basically, we want him... Okay, we want this pattern. That's what I was trying to say. Because it allows us to shoot him... Okay, thank you. Spawn on top of me. It allows us to shoot him multiple times and probably the most times. Everything else, it's really hard to kind of shoot him more than just a few times. So, okay, thank you. So we've died 21 times. I checked there. But yeah, this is the pattern that we really want. So we want to keep seeing this one.
Or you're basically dancing with him.
Yep. But as far as I know, like, he can spawn this pattern multiple times in a row, so he's not like the level 3 boss. He weirdly... Ooh, almost jumped on my head. If he really feels generous, he can do that, but of course he's not going to. He's just going to try to keep jumping on my head. Okay, so this should be dead. Oh my goodness.
Oh, his clothes changed.
Yes, that was way too close for no reason.
That boss's face was my face this entire run. Meanwhile, oh, story.
Yes, I unfortunately don't know really the story about this game. I just like the game a lot. It's
Something
really
about
fun stuff.
Intruder.
Yeah, you can die on that little blob, and then you have to do that whole boss fight over again, and this is the final boss. So,
Final boss.
flashing warning after the boss dies. It's a thing. So we have, I think it's a 2-frame window to like hit all of these missiles, like double shots sort of. Oh shoot. All of these double shots. This is going to be hard to talk through. But all of these double shots over the top of the missiles. So that's the thing. And you really want him to basically spawn the missile pattern. So these green balls, it's the second best pattern technically for shots that you can shoot him with. Purple is not great because it tracks you like that, but this missile one is what we want. Oh, he shot low. That was weird. I think it's because I was too far right.
Why is a robot the last boss?
There's story there that I don't know. It probably makes
yes,
sense.
Plot. Got it.
Yes, the plot and things. Yeah, I actually legitimately don't know. I honestly don't. There's 2 games like this where I'm not 100% sure with the story. The other one that I run is Tiny Toons, which I also don't know what's happening in that game, but... So yeah, sorry, these shots there are, I think, all the 2-frame window to hit 2 at the same time. When he flashes his mask like that, he creates like a screen-wide thing. And this guy's RNG is to the frame. Like, you can make a save state and practice this boss, and if you load the save state every single time, it tracks your movement. This is impossible to talk. It tracks your movement, so like if you hold left and you reload the save state, like per frame, it'll be different. Stop giving me the green ball thing. So it's extremely reactionary, this boss, and we got him. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna go over the rest of it by like 10 seconds. Please forgive.
Oh no. I'm sorry, you have to donate $1 per millisecond of you going over estimate. What a tragedy, what a shame. How dare.
What's up, Tenmashi? So yeah, timing ends once you're out of this little hole thing here, so probably in like 10 seconds. I can obviously just mash the timer. But there you go, we're done.
Yeah!
So effectively, this was the bad ending. You get to enjoy this plot. You can literally see...
They're getting away!
and that's very much it. And because
Timmy made it back to his ship! Good job, Junkyard Dave. You helped Timmy get back to their ship and not down the well.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there's a good ending where he doesn't get away, but any percent involves just obviously beating the game as fast as possible and not getting another key. And because it was brought up, I can show you. This was the horse, and apparently we tried to draw yesterday. Didn't really look like a horse.
That's
so.
No, that you literally drew a house hippo.
Yes.
You cannot tell me that like this is not a house hippo.
No, yeah, we tried, and it just it looked more like a hippo over and over and over. So, but yeah, that's Battle Kid, and thank you guys for having me. It's always fun participating. I actually come back in a couple of days for Hard Mode Bucky, which I can talk through. So thank you for any hosting help and everything like that, because we don't know how to talk and play this game yet.
It was super fun. Thank you again for that awesome run. And remember, my viewers, my fellow viewers, please donate. We still have our incentives going up, and I'm still very, very, very sad that Save the Frames is winning with Fraught. Clearly, we need to save puppies. Save the puppers. I swear I might just make Tranks just shove pictures of just Remy up on the screen because we need to save the puppers. I'm all for this. Who cares about the frames? And we also have our Lena's Inception. Show me your aesthetic. 8-bit or 32-bit, put in your donations. All donations go towards the Alberta Children's Hospital. And we are here from today onwards to Sunday. So hang in there. We shall be back with another awesome run. Thank you again, Junkyard Dave, and we shall see you guys in a bit.
Cool. Thank you guys again for having me.